Subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon to get the latest updates.
The comet 29P is a weird one. Comets go around the Sun in highly elongated and eccentric elliptical orbits. These orbits tend to range from several years to several thousands of years and maybe even millions of years. Typically, comets tend to come from the Kuiper belt, which is beyond Neptune. These comets are short period comets with short orbital periods. Long period comets, which can have orbital periods ranging up to thousands to even millions of years, come from the Oort cloud, which is a spherical cloud of icy objects that surround the flat plane of our solar system. But comet 29P, it orbits the Sun in between Jupiter and Saturn. There are many other objects that orbit here, and these objects that orbit between the orbits of Jupiter and Neptune are called centaurs. They have properties that are both like comets and asteroids, and that's why they are called centaurs, because a centaur is both human and horse. We have discovered about 500 centaurs so far, and of these, 30 are comets. One of these is the 29P. 29P also has another property that makes it stand out, and that is that it keeps outgassing and flashing brightly in the sky. This happens on average about 7 times a year. But a few days ago, it started going off brightly and suddenly and had 4 large consecutive outbursts in a matter of just 3 days. At this time, it became 250 times brighter than its usual brightness. More unusually, this happened not when it was closest to the Sun in 2019, but while it was moving away from the Sun. What is causing these kind of outbursts, and what caused this specific superburst, which was 4 consecutive outbursts together? We don't know, but the scientific community is taking some very educated guesses, which also include the presence of ice volcanoes. I'm Sandhya Ramesh, and this is Pure Science. Firstly, why do comets flash in the sky when we look at them sometimes? The flash that we see is the effect of the Sun melting the ices on comets, releasing dust and gas. This process is called outgassing, and it increases as a comet heads closer and closer to the Sun. Comets also interact with the solar radiation and solar wind, which is a steady stream of ionized particles and radiation coming out from the Sun. These hit the comet and they produce the typical cometary structure we know. The comet consists of the nucleus, which is the central body of the comet, the coma, which is the atmosphere surrounding a comet that glows bright, and a tail that trails from the comet. The nucleus of a comet is its solid core, and it is made up of rock and dust and ice. Water ice, but also ices in the form of frozen compounds like carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, ammonia, and methane. There are also other organic substances that are present on comets like ethanol and formaldehyde. The gas and dust that emanates from the nucleus and forms a thin atmosphere that surrounds the comet is the coma. It is made up of dust and primarily water vapor from the ice. The closer a comet gets to the Sun, the larger and larger its coma grows. This coma is also illuminated by the Sun, and the dust and ices reflect the light back, causing it to look bright and flash to our eyes. As the solar wind and radiation push against this coma and bombard it, tails start to form. There are usually 2 kinds of tails that a comet has. Firstly, there's the stream of dust and gas which is left behind in a curved path, which typically follows the path of the comet. This is in the direction opposite to the direction that the comet is moving in and trails behind it. A second kind of tail is the ion tail, which is always pointing in the direction that is opposite to the Sun, no matter which direction the comet is traveling in, because this ion tail is affected by radiation and magnetic fields. When comets exhaust all their ices and become extinct, only a rocky core is left behind. This now is an asteroid, and this is how sometimes comets become asteroids. This is not how all asteroids form, only some. Normally, asteroids form inside the orbit of Jupiter, and we know that they're primarily in the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. But in this main belt, we've also discovered comets and extinct comets. We think that about 5 to 6% of all near-Earth asteroids are actually extinct nuclei of comets which can no longer outgas because all of their ices are gone. The comet 29P is a case of its own. It was first discovered in 1927 in photos because it was outgassing and was very bright. German astronomers Arnold Schwarzmann and Arno Wachmann discovered it, and they noticed that this object was bright but was starting to fade very quickly. Within 4 months, they realized that the comet had entirely disappeared from view and had faded out. And then it reappeared surprisingly quickly. That is when astronomers realized that this comet was orbiting in a surprisingly short orbital path, coming towards the Sun much faster than other comets were. Furthermore, they were also able to deduce that this comet had a near circular orbit, which is extremely unusual for comets that come from really far away and travel in an elongated orbit. Subsequent analysis of earlier images revealed that the comet was also photographed in 1902. The comet continued to be observed and has been under continuous observation from its discovery, and we now know that it's about 60 kilometers wide and can brighten normally up to 100 times its brightness, about 7 times a year on average. These outbursts are not predictable. They can happen at any time and they happen very suddenly. They can last a few hours, and they have also been observed at aphelion, which is the farthest distance from the Sun. An aphelion outburst was in fact first observed in 1933 itself. In the 1970s, the comet interacted with Jupiter in an extended manner, and its orbital period reduced and its location changed a little bit in its orbit, and now the comet has an orbital period of 14.5 years. Jupiter's orbital period by comparison is a little less than 12 years, and Saturn's is a little less than about 30 years. 29P had its perihelion, or its closest approach to the Sun, in 2019 and has since been moving away from the Sun. When it undergoes an outburst, there is first typically a bright spot growing as a small coma around the nucleus. Then over a few hours it expands and becomes a bright blob around the nucleus, and then over the next few days it will slowly start to diffuse and erode away. This typically happens when comets approach the Sun, but 29P now is moving away from the Sun, and yet it experienced 4 consecutive outbursts in 3 days and became 250 times brighter than its usual. We have not observed peaking of activity after a comet starts to move away from the Sun. What could have caused this massive release of dust? One guess that astronomers have is cryovolcanism or ice volcanism. We've observed this on bodies like Ceres and Saturn's moon Enceladus. Ice volcanoes erupt, releasing ice into the atmosphere or space, and in the case of Enceladus, this ice also replenishes one of Saturn's rings. Astronomers think that there could be cryovolcanism on the comet because first, some work has shown that there is often a massive release of dust only without the accompanying carbon monoxide. And how this works is very similar to something we do around us all the time. The Sun thaws a bit of the comet's surface and softens the crust. Under this, there is likely a slushy slurry of ices made of water and frozen gases, which is analogous to magma on Earth in volcanoes. On Earth, the crust ruptures, releasing the magma, which is then called lava once it reaches the surface. On icy bodies, when the crust ruptures, carbon monoxide that is inside these ices starts to bubble and fizz just like our soft drinks. This bubbling fizzing then ejects all the dust out, once again like what happens when we open a can of Coke. The fissure or the opening is then subsequently sealed again because of the comet's own gravity and all of the hydrocarbons, ices solidifying. But once again, a new outburst can then occur right there or somewhere nearby. Because this carbon monoxide is bubbling and fizzing, it's also likely displacing material, and it's possible that each outburst actually triggered the subsequent outburst. British astronomer Robert Miles has actually done quite a lot of work on this comet, and he has observed it for decades. He has concluded that the comet is in fact a slow rotator. It spins on its axis once every 57 to 58 days, and its behavior undergoes seasonal changes. He was the one who also deduced the presence of cryovolcanic activity on the comet. But we do not have confirmation for all of this yet, even though this seems most likely, and we do not fully understand what caused these 4 consecutive outbursts. It's a bit of a mystery, and we can still only theorize and make informed guesses. But there is a lot that is interesting about this comet, and that makes these outbursts even more curious. Firstly, the comet is continuously active all year round. There is something or the other that's always happening, and large outbursts can happen literally at any moment. The comet also had extended encounters with Jupiter, where under the planet's gravitational influence, its orbital parameters are changed. In the future, in the late 2030s, it will once again have such an encounter with Jupiter, and its orbital period will shift to about 16 years. This of course means that when taken over the longer term, the comet is not in a fully stable orbit. Jupiter will keep interacting with it gravitationally, eventually kicking it to either inside its own orbit, maybe to the asteroid belt, or put it on a path that takes it directly to an exit gate out our solar system. This could happen thousands of years into the future if it does. Additionally, newer findings have shown that the comet 29P is actually a gateway comet, which means that it's on its way to being a Kuiper Belt origin centaur that is currently being stabilized in its final orbit to ultimately becoming a Jupiter family comet whose orbit is controlled entirely by the influence of Jupiter's gravity only. There have been multiple missions that have been proposed to study the comet. Notably, in the past, there was the Chimera mission and the Centaurus mission. Both proposals and concepts were submitted to NASA, but unfortunately did not make the cut. Nevertheless, the comet is a great blessing for amateur astronomers and stargazers especially, and throws a spectacular display, regularly lighting up for anyone scanning the night skies.